Hi, hello, and welcome to Vertical Transmission or Counselorship or whatever this is called. Okay. My name is Priestess Abossi. I'll be your oracle today. I was sent by myself or my higher self or my conscious or whatever, what have you, just to talk about some things, darling. So forewarned, there's a video coming out tonight, and I straight up made threats. Okay. If we jump into it, and you know, my hackles came up. So what does that mean? I got triggered or something of that nature? I don't think I was triggered. I think, um, I mean, I could just tell on myself, betrayal never comes from the enemy. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. I was doing a reading and personal messages were coming through, and whatever I say is an excuse. So ultimately, I want to talk about renewing my vow, my promise. It's not really about me. I want to just use this moment for some medicine for all of us, because I had said once upon a time, we would make the channel like a family channel, and like every other video or so, I've been cursing like the last couple of weeks, and then I've been doing really great with curse words, and I was trying all these different ways that felt inauthentic, and I just let my natural organic self come through, and it was easier. And when I'm upset with a person, I actually just turn into an English lady. So my English gets very proper, and there's thinly veiled threats or thinly veiled insults that you can't perceive if you're unintelligent or you don't have a very firm grasp of the language. And that was like a band-aid, but also that was more authentic to myself. So I have some quotes to read here. I'm just trying to change the Wi-Fi, um, opening up a private network here. So one thing I do want to say, and I'll probably check it while I'm here on the channel, there's a lot of hidden enemies coming up, and I've been having personally all these repressed memories come up for the last several weeks. And, I have a whole care team, a therapist, a nutritionist, a personal trainer, a physical therapist. I have like a full team. Like a dentist, I have a full team. A business manager, I have a full team, a care team. Okay. And I've started to share with them what's going on and what I'm going through. But I want to share with you some of the spiritual insights that I've had. I just want to save this quote really quickly and go to the quotes that I have already saved. And I should be prepared, but I'm behind in everything because I don't know. I'm getting used to new normal right now. Um, and it's been happening. I'll tell on myself. I have a clinical advisor. I was in my practice group, and uh, well, I threatened violence. I literally told homeboy that the reason he wasn't ending up as a dead body right then and there is because there were witnesses present and it was broad daylight. I took it there. And, and I'm not proud of that. It's not funny. It's not a laughing matter. Um, behind all of this, I just got to be honest. Like, I lost my innocence maybe last October or something of that nature. And I'm still recovering from that because, you know, um, it doesn't matter what I've been through in my life. I've always been really open-hearted, really kind of naive, really kind of innocent. I've always gone barreling forward towards people with all my loving. And it took me forever to understand that people don't always mean the best for you. People don't want to see you smile. They don't want to see you thrive. There are people out there that make it their mission to see you stumble, to see you fall, to see you crash and burn. Okay. So outside of this, um, losing of innocence, also, I began to step into real authenticity, real genuineness, real sincerity with myself. And the thing is, when you really decide to understand yourself, you do come undone. You do destroy bits and pieces of yourself simply by looking at them. Okay. Um, And honestly, saying how you feel can never ruin a real connection. So that's the first quote I have here. Um, because I should be giving thanks to people who decide to reveal themselves. Now I know. That's the second quote here, you know. The third quote would be maturity is when you realize that people can't give you what they can't give themselves. So it's best to stop expecting loyalty from people who betray themselves, to stop expecting honesty from people who lie to themselves, to stop expecting peace from people who are at war with themselves. And um, I told you this started in October, I'm sorry, I need a moment to compose myself. This should be an apology. It's not a pity party. I just need to circle the wheels because the bases. I mean, because I've been making new agreements with divine because I need to step up. I've had a windfall. My God duties and obligations have increased. I need to take on more responsibility, and uh, I needed to renegotiate my light work contract, my universal agreement. Um, but also behind this is like when you pray to the Lord, when you pray to the divine, when you try to align with with the vortex of creation, you get tested. It's not just that, like for me, when I pray, first it would take a week to manifest, then it would take 3 days to manifest. I'm manifesting in as little as usually the last couple of months I've been manifesting in about 18 hours, but I started to manifest in under 12 hours. So I made this prayer this morning and I went out into the world to handle up on my business and my connections and my whatever I got going on. And the whole time it's weighing heavy on my heart and my soul and my spirit. Like it's really been with me. Like I've been having the universe reverberate, matriculate, manifest, and reflect back to me. And what I'm learning is the right doors won't open until you're the version of yourself you're supposed to be that can walk through them. And the thing about the rat race is that even if you win the rat race, you're still a rat. That's the trouble with it all. Okay. So I'm trying to add days to my life. I'm trying to add experiences to my life that were taken from me, robbed from me, ripped out from me, and bloody fingernails. And the thing about it is when you're authentically yourself, when you're at peace with yourself, that also attracts enemies. So there is a way to be a peaceful warrior. There is a way to walk through this world at peace with the fact that you're going to be walking through adversity. I forget that that's the mission of a light worker and of a chosen seed, is that actually your light itself is going to irritate demons enough. You don't need to do anything and you don't need to fight your own battles if you're chosen. I think that might be the message I need to transmit. You don't need to fight your own battles if you're chosen. If you have love in your heart, if you have a smile on your face, if you have pep in your step, if you have mission in your spirit, if you have that divine word in your soul, that's all it takes. You know, I that's the thing. Like I've been having my hackles up. I've been having bristling down to my bones, chilled down to the depths of my soul because I'm realizing like, oh, I'm swimming with sharks. Oh, I'm surrounded by enemies. Oh, like 95% of the people around me, they're not here for me. They're hanging on to my coattails. They're looking for a handout. They're waiting for my moment to come, either so they can share in that moment or so they can block that moment. And I don't want to share like personal details, but I just found out about somebody that's been doing something really nasty to me for a while because they have a crush and they're not able to come and say like, hey, I'm feeling you. Let's get something going on. But they're behind the scenes blocking things, doing magic, stealing things. So they have my little personal effects, doing whatever, what have you. Some sideways, sneaky, shady, seditious shit. Um, and there's a part of me that is like, okay, the devil's going to do what the devil's going to do. Now I know I need to be grateful. And this person didn't reveal themselves to me. Spirit revealed it to me. Actually, they revealed themselves to me a long time ago and I kept dealing with them. They stole something from me right in front of me and pretended that it didn't happen. Like, I don't know why I do this this little I forgive you, or they know not what they do. No, you're a grown ass adult. You know what you're doing. I'm the little innocent one. I'm the little naive one. I'm the little inept not one who doesn't know better, even though it's happening right in front of my face. Behind the scenes, you got to realize, like, I grew up in foster care. I'm a little autistic, and I was trafficked. There's a whole lot of exploitation in my history, and sexually as well. And also, like, the main point that I'm making is, like, there's gaps in my developmental foundation. Like, there's some things that are like hard knocks, hard lessons, and they're heavy loaded on the back end because I never got them on the front end. Like, at 18 years old, I knew how to refinance your mortgage. I knew how to allocate your investments. I knew how to handle up on your insurance and all that other stuff. But I didn't know how to set up a date. And I didn't know what healthy love looked like, all little things like that, but they compound. You hear what I'm saying? So not only do I need to give myself a break, but I also need to accept accountability, responsibility. Like, I'm here in this situation. I'm dealing with these experiences. Something in my vibration is calling them forward to me to have to deal with. And the thing is, if God is willing, or the divine, or whatever doesn't offend our ego here, I'll include myself in that. Because I don't mind the word God unless I don't like the way you use that word. If I don't like your God, I don't want to hear God out of your mouth. I'll be honest. That's how it goes for me. But like the divine, let's just say God, divine. The divine only shows you what you're ready to deal with. And so this stuff has been going on a long time. And that basically means I've been protected through most of this stuff. And I hope my personal story can help you in some way. And by the way, this is an apology or an accountability or whatever, what have you. I'm pre-warning you that the next daily tarot buffet, I made physical threats. I threatened violence. And I'm not able to delete it because that's another agreement that I made when I put work out into the universe. Let it be where it be. And I used to think all the time about starting a channel where I could go and do curse words. And then something in me was like, well, why do you need to hold space for that? Why do you need to hold on to that vibration where you're cursing? Why don't you just, do away with that? You don't need to be that person. You don't need to be that light worker who trades in expletives, who trades in that kind of energy. Because the ship is always safe at shore, but that's not actually what it's built for. And so I need to be grateful for the ways that I've been protected beyond my perception. I'm sitting here reading from a book of quotes, okay? So that's just what's up. Because the calmer you are, the clearer you think, and that's when you can move with strategy, not emotions. And the thing I hate the most is when you tell a person, like, oh, they're coming down. So when you tell a person your boundary or your standards, or when you tell a person who you are, how you handle things, and how you handle up on things, so they've been listening to you, they've been hearing you, they've been getting to know you, and you already told them what hurts you, or you've already told them what your boundaries are, and they still think they can try you anyways. Like, that's the thing. So I've got to realize that there's gonna be situations where disappointment is inevitable. Okay, and some decisions hurt. It doesn't mean they were the wrong decision. Because the key to peace is staying away from toxic people. And so I got to be grateful to people for revealing themselves. Because water has no effect on fake flowers. You cannot water fake flowers, and you cannot water dead flowers. That's what's up. There are certain people that you got to avoid at all costs. Time, energy, effort, attention. It's for your peace. And the thing is, the calling on my life is too grand, too great to be messing around with bottom feeders. Like, if I'm all that and then some, why I got to worry about a basic, Becky? If I'm a lion, why am I worrying about the little words of sheep? Because this is what happened to me. Let me just show you, illustrate. Okay, I don't know what this is and why I'm dealing with this mess. Please just give me what I asked you for. Excuse me, I'm yelling at cards here. I don't need any more stress today. I got too much to do. Okay, so we're gonna look at the devil and this Zen Buddhist deck, okay? Because it illustrates, illuminates, elucidates, enumerates exactly what's up. So, I mean, I hope the word that I spoke today helps somebody out there. Listen, if I'm making you feel unsafe and you gotta go take your space, I get it. You know, if you gotta handle up on business and find other guidance, that's fine. Take care of yourself. Be well. Just remember, love lives here. That's my only request. Like, don't think that I don't love on you, that I don't love you. And that's all. So, this is the card. It's actually the devil in this deck, and it's called conditioning. And you can see the lion there has been, these are not real. These things here, they're not real. They're not real. So it's like all that conditioning and programming, you can see the shackles there. There's figments of my imagination or things that have been spoken into me, breathed in me, trying to bind me down. And it's everyone. It's not just me, honeys. It's all of us here. That's what the devil does. They try to convince you that you have no power. They're trying to convince you that you're a sheep. They're trying to convince us that we're a sheep when we're really a lion. You know what I mean? Um, you know, there's more to expand on this story, but that's just what it is. I'm moving out of spaces, and what's being revealed to me is how toxic those spaces that I've just left were. And the spaces could be relationships with people, it could be entire groups that I'm leaving or whatever, or what have you. I'm just being reminded, yeah, of how dirty, dogged, and disrespected the treatment has been, disrespectful the treatment has been. Okay. Um, People's true colors come out when they don't get what they want from you. And that's terrifying to me right now because I don't know. I try to understand people's motivations. And the thing is, like, I'm not evil. I'm not evil. And I'm not weak either. Like, let me put it to you this way. And this is for all of us. So I'm just sharing my own. I'm getting vulnerable with you for a moment. That's it. Um, like I don't talk about this a lot, but darling, like let me illuminate for you. Drug abuse, addiction, domestic violence. Okay, I could go on trafficking, prolonged sexual exploitation as a minor. Okay, foster care. Okay, I could keep counting. Do you understand? So when it comes down to it, there are moments in life when it's either you or them. When it's either you or them, and like you have to understand, I'm still standing. I've survived them. And so that's on one hand, like there's a lot of strength in me, but on the other hand, you also have to understand, like, here's why I'm chosen. Here's why I'm special to the divine, because all of that happened to me in my life, and I've only just gotten harder. I've only just gotten a little bit. I wouldn't call myself jaded. I still have belief and faith and hope and optimism in humanity, but like just now, just in these last months, have I gotten a little bit punchy? Have I gotten a little bit salty? Have I clapped back? Does that make sense? Like, normally I'm still trying to love on you, even if you're trying to kill me. That's the point I'm trying to make. So let's look at the shadow a little bit and get off the channel because I just wanted to warn you that there's a raunchy video coming up tonight. It's buck wild. I lost it and I can't delete it. I made the agreement with the Lord. Just if works come out, it's got to go out. And I'm very blessed, so I can't be skirting around. So it's an honor and pleasure to serve you, and I do believe it's a privilege. And so I just want to honor you and praise you and thank you for choosing me to be one of your guides and sticking here. There's people that have been supporting me since day one, and we've had multiple channels. I've left and come and come, and the subscriber base has shrank over time. Not on this channel really, but like when I migrate, I lose. So, it's whatever to me. Like if I help one person, that's all that I need to know. I'm not here for all the reasons people would assume. And I don't actually have the same motivations that people have, I'm discovering. And I've been spending all this time trying to acclimatize, thinking that, oh, I didn't have some kind of developmental lesson in my youth. So let me go ahead and try to learn it or try to get in the pond or the pool and swim. Let me have a little couple hard lessons or whatever. Let me, have hard knocks teach me. It's not that. I don't have the same motivations as everybody. I'm not out here competing with anybody. I'm not out here comparing myself. I'm not out here thinking that I need a come up or a leg up or whatever. Like I'm out here trying to love on you. Like that was the hardest lesson. Like not everybody out here wants to love, not wants to be a real one. Actually, people want to be sideways, sneaky, shady. They want to do, I don't know. I don't have the language. That was a hard lesson. Okay, so Queen of Wands, Royal. Dynamic, high vibrational, and blessed, very blessed and very fortunate. Yeah, I mean, I would agree. Okay, so there's a lot of temptations on the path. That's what I'm feeling. And so this is highly favored, blessed, and anointed. This actually means chosen in this context. It means chosen. Yeah, that's everything. So the message can go out. I just wanted to share a quick word. It is an honor and privilege to serve you. And that, I don't know, that video, I put it out there. Normally when I get that nasty, I just delete the video. I don't publish it. It happens. It's happened a few times. I wouldn't say it happens all the time. Yeah, less stanza. So returning to quiet, returning to peace, returning to stillness. And I'm also letting you into some intimate space. Okay. Um, some kind of reunion here, some type of discovery here. Um, apparently the attack is because people are depressed because they're hiding affection. And it turns out that most people that attack actually have some kind of adoration, that if a person really hates you, they'll just fight you out in public. It's the people that like you that will actually attach to you and betray you in secret. And that's hard for me to understand. And that's the message that I received earlier when I was doing that um, video. The betrayal, the enemy and betrayal, that it's not that it hurts, it's that the being offended and being disrespected. It's like, I'm not a dog you walk around the block on a leash. I'm not a little punk, pansy, pussy poser. Like, I'm a real one. Coming through is all I ever want to do, and I'm here to stand on business. I was sent to share love, create value, save your soul, make a room for you in the eternal kingdom, teach you the tricks of the trade so that you can stay clean through this world and be free and at peace for eternity. Return to the promised land, receive the promise that's on the divine is placed on our life. And all these other things, they're a distraction. They're a distraction. And I get really hurt when a person doesn't want to love, when a person doesn't want to create, when a person doesn't want to celebrate, when they want to fight and be evil and be sinister and be wicked. I never understood that, and I don't think I ever will. Um, you know, there are people out there that are underhanded, and that's the way they get down. And I've seen some atrocities in this world. You know, I really have seen some of the most disgusting atrocities outside of war. Uh, I'm talking about dead bodies in the street, I'm sorry to say. You know, I've seen some horrible things in this world, and I kept my softness until recently. I don't know how that happened, but I'm grateful that it did. So I think I'll leave it here, honey. I really do love you, and I honor you, and I praise you, and I thank you, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care, honey. Bye bye.